If you want to achieve that lean anime physique like Toji or Megumi, working out alone might not be enough. You also have to adjust your diet to truly get shredded. However, trying to get lean by counting calories can be quite tedious. Combine that with a modern food environment and dieting can feel agonizing. But luckily, it doesn't have to be that way. There's a different approach to getting and staying lean without having to count calories and without feeling like you have to starve yourself. And that's what this video is about. Here I will give you the 2 most fundamental principles to design a healthy weight loss diet, with 5 additional diet hacks that you can use to optimize your results. Let's start by understanding the problem first. The most common advice that you find in the fitness scene is that gaining or losing weight is simply a matter of calories in versus calories out. Meaning that if you consume more calories than your body uses, you will gain weight and vice versa. While this is true in the most basic sense, I find this concept quite reductionist and actually not that helpful for most people. And this is because it doesn't really take the psychological side of eating and the physiological nuances of your body into account, especially if we consider the modern food environment. We live in a society where a lot of the food that we can find today is nutritiously empty and artificially enhanced with additives to taste better and be more addicting in general. Basically, these foods are designed to be highly dopaminergic so that we can't get enough of them. Eating this kind of food while restricting your calories makes your diet goals much harder to reach, as your body never truly feels satiated because of the lack of nutrients. Your mind will continually crave food to trigger that sweet dopamine release. So to actually become lean, we do not only want to reduce the amount of calories that we consume, but also change the type of food we eat. And here, a simple rule of thumb is most foods that you eat should be single ingredient, unprocessed whole foods. To give an example, it is better to eat whole foods like brown rice instead of processed white rice, or even ultra-processed foods like cereals. If the food label contains a lot of ingredients that sound like you just opened a chemistry book, or it contains more numbers than your average math class, then maybe you should stay away from it. The benefit of following a diet like this is that you remove the hyper-addictive qualities because there are no flavor enhancers and no additives. And at the same time, most unprocessed whole foods are actually very satiating, giving your body the nutrients it needs, which in turn will reduce the feeling of hunger. So it's also easier to eat less calories. In the beginning of cutting out all that processed food, eating the healthy alternative can feel a bit bland and boring, and you might also have some strong food cravings, but that's totally normal. And this is because your taste buds have been overstimulated for quite some time. But don't worry, after doing this for a week or 2, you will already adapt. And suddenly, all that processed food doesn't seem so appealing anymore, and you will start to crave real food. At least, that's my experience. Though, one thing that I want to mention is that it's also okay to include some processed foods in your diet, especially if it helps you to eat more of the healthier food. For instance, cooking oil is highly processed and has a lot of calories, but if it helps you to consume much more vegetables and the alternative would be going to McDonald's, then by all means include the cooking oil in your diet. Also, don't beat yourself up if you happen to eat an unhealthy meal. It is much more important what we eat on a regular basis, and one cheat meal will not destroy your progress. We want to maintain a healthy relationship to our food so that we don't spiral down into some kind of eating disorder. With this, we covered the foundation of our diet: prioritize healthy, unprocessed foods over processed and ultra-processed foods. There's also another principle that we might want to consider to achieve our weight loss goals. And the principle is use calorie density to your own advantage. To illustrate this, I prepared a little example. Each plate that I'm showing contains 1000 calories. Starting with peanut butter without any added sugars or oils, so quite unprocessed, we reach 1000 calories already quite fast. Next we have the cooked whole wheat pasta, and as you can see, this is already a lot more filling for 1000 calories. But then if we go on to fruit, for example apples, we have to eat a lot of volume of these to actually reach our 1000 calories. And lastly, if we look at a vegetable, in this case broccoli, we can see we would have to eat quite a lot to reach the 1000 calories. So yeah, no way that you can actually eat so much broccoli that you would actually gain weight from that. And I'm not telling you that the only thing you should eat from now on is broccoli. Well, I have to because of all of this for the next few days. But what I wanted to show is that by including these low density calorie foods, you can increase the volume of your food by quite a lot without actually increasing the calories by much. So you can eat much more without actually gaining weight. So you will also feel less hungry all the time. And in general, most vegetables have a low calorie density, so include them, the more the merrier. And I would say you can still eat the peanut butter. For example, you can make a tasty sauce with it and then use the vegetables to bulk up the volume. Now we've covered the two most effective principles to design a healthy diet to become and stay lean. Sticking to these principles will make your diet already quite effective. In addition, I have some smaller diet hacks or rules that you can follow to optimize your weight loss even further. So let's quickly go through them. Number 1, do not drink your calories. So no soft drinks and juices, because this will not leave you satiated. Next, no distractions while eating. So don't watch anime, don't watch any YouTube video while eating. That's a difficult one also for me. And the reason is that if you fully concentrate on your food and also on your body while eating, you actually notice when you are starting to feel full, and then it's less likely that you overeat, which can reduce the amount of calories you eat in a day by quite a lot. Number 3, don't eat too late into the evening, and this is for two reasons. On the one side, later in the day you are more tired, so the food choices that you make have a higher probability of being bad, so it's best to avoid that. And on the other side, eating late might have a negative impact on your sleep. So personally, I have the rule to try to not eat anything after 5 p.m. And I find that setting a time like this makes it also much easier to stick to it compared to when you just say, okay, I will eat less in the evening. Number 4, sleep enough. There are actually studies showing that if you're underslept, your diet is not that effective. So you're losing less body fat and you might even lose some muscles. So better focus on sleep. I have a whole video on sleep if you want to check that out. And lastly, snacks are okay, but choose a low calorie density variant. For example, instead of a chocolate bar, you can eat a carrot. I mean, it probably doesn't taste as good as a chocolate bar, but you can eat a lot of carrots without gaining any extra weight. So it's the better alternative if you really want to eat something between your meals. That was it. I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching and bye.